This Jay Muse.
This is Eddie McClintock from Warehouse 13.
Hey, this is Brian Holler.
This is Brett Dahl.
Hey, this is Eddie Trunk, and you're listening to Beer Bros and BS.
Beers Bros BS.
Beer Bros and BS.
Beer Bros and BS.
You should be listening to Beer Bros and BS every day, every minute for the rest of your lives.
Snooch to the nooch.
Welcome to episode 44 of Beer Bros and BS. I'm Dave, the Big Librarian. Tonight I'm joined with...
JJ, the Mel Chef.
Alex, the King of Alapado.
And Jose.
Strong Jose.
With authority.
As usual, do you want to name the beers that we have tonight?
Sure, I'll try. The Stone Vertical Epic 1-2.
Wrong already.
Great, off to a great start.
Knee Deep Brewing Company, Imperial Tanilla.
Hey, you got that one.
I thought it was pronounced knee deep.
Trillium Brewing, Dialed In.
All right.
And finally, tonight...
And Wakefield's The Green Monster.
Okay, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
Indian Pale Ale.
Yeah, he got a 3 out of the 4. Well, you can stay on the show, Jose.
Okay.
And up first tonight, we're drinking Stone Vertical 12-12-12.
1-2.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
1-2.
Vertical
Stone
Stone 1-2. It's Imperial Stout. It's aged, I guess, now 3.5 years going on. I don't know how I came about this bottle, but I recently found it a couple months ago in the back of a pantry that we remodeled, and it's moved shit around, and I said, oh, look at this, because they re-released this beer, and it has a great smell. It comes in at 9% ABV, and I would say that it came in at 9, but it's probably going to be a little bit higher now.
Yeah, probably at 11 by this point.
What do you guys think of the beer?
It smells great. The nose is awesome. I get some cherry, some like red fruit.
Yeah, dark fruit.
Yeah, I get plums, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say plums. Yeah, this is one of those holiday beers, so you get that spruciness, the sprigs, Christmas tree. But it's not overpowering. Like, there's some other holiday beers that are out there that can be really, like, not pungent, but like potent, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
I'd say, aged for this many years, it's
Inside a pantry, no less.
yeah,
Yeah, it held up really good.
the taste is very much more of the dark fruit. Almost a little sour on the back end,
Yeah.
or tart.
Yeah, definitely got plums on the taste.
Well, since
Tastes
it's
like dark fruit.
so it's a holiday beer, so is it the Sugar Plum Fairy? Sorry.
Cricket sounds. Just picture the cricket
Oh, yeah. No
Yes.
soundboard tonight. Sorry. It's on our. Hey, it's casual.
Casual Friday.
Casual
Beer Bros.
Friday.
Casual
Yeah.
Friday.
Casual Friday.
So we're going to start off like normal with a Would You Rather. I'm going to start off with something a little easy, a little fanboyish. Would you rather have Hellboy's arm or the Winter Soldier's arm?
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier looks cooler.
Yeah, my thoughts.
Winter
Exactly.
Soldier, except I don't want to be, turned on by some random, phrases in Russian.
Dostoevsky,
Oh,
Kalashnikov, Niet, Ballet. French, but it's still the same shit.
One.
Freight car. What do you want, Dave?
Would you rather be naked for a week, 7 days, wherever you want? You put a shirt on and shit disappears, or wear a T-shirt with the last 10 things you searched for on Pornhub for a week?
Actually, a T-shirt with the last 10 things that I searched on Pornhub would be an awesome T-shirt.
I'm trying to think. What were the last 10 things I searched?
JJ looks nervous.
Yeah. What did I look up this week?
I mean, I usually search for porn stars, so I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like mine's usually like looking up the names or whatever.
The name plus anal.
You ain't wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, like some of it.
You got
some
real quick there. I stumped you on that one.
One of them is, I guess, a Gravor.
What is that? What?
Yeah.
Do I want to know what
Yeah,
that
I was
is?
gonna say even
If you had to ask, you can't afford it.
yeah, ZJ.
It's Japanese, like models.
Oh man, I know that. Like mine, like people would just be afraid because it's usually like such and such Sasha Grey rough or whatever.
I kind of wish Dan was here. Dan,
Oh,
was here for this.
he would be naked all day.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit. Would you rather take $10 million, but you're going to have a deadly snail slowly follow you for the rest of your life? If it ever catches you, you're fucking dead. Or continue your life as normal and not win any big, cash money.
Oh no, I'll take the 10 million. I'll just move really fucking far so I know I have a head start on the snail.
You can't kill the snail? I feel like I could kill the snail.
Yeah, I would just
man.
like spread salt everywhere. Like wherever I go,
With the $10 million, I can't afford to hire an assassin.
This slow, deadly snail will eat up salt right through it like nothing.
It's bulletproof.
And then if you were to kill it, yeah, sure, you kill it, but then you go in debt $10 million.
Oh, what kind of? I don't like this.
Or you just
What?
continue your life as normal.
I know. To me, that's pretty easy. Look, you know how how slow a fucking snow moves. So fucking, you move from Miami to fucking Alaska.
The thing is
Yeah,
that
be a million.
Buy a boat with my $10 million bucks.
Oh, there you go.
Come and get me now, snail.
Yeah.
Because there are no snails in the ocean.
Well, there are no.
And there are no snails on boats,
Well,
like barnacles.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know,
they
man.
could
This is
fucking-
a really crazy snail, man. This thing
Well,
can
how would-
follow me on
well,
land.
It's
I
the
got a quick question
interdimensional
with that.
snail from
How
hell.
the fuck would you sleep? Like you're
Exactly.
like,
But you
you're
have $10
asleep-
million.
Yeah, but that's why I said, like, you get a head start.
That's your compensation.
I
there.
would,
Yeah.
I would sleep on one of
No,
those
no,
like
because it would just catch
magnetized,
up to you when you're sleeping.
magnetically elevated beds. Just sleep on a magnetically elevated bed. This
I feel
fucking
like
snail
Alex
can't jump.
is actually going through
Oh, that's
this process in his life right now. There's a deadly
There
snail.
is a snail coming to get me.
Yeah, you see those footsteps. Yeah, that's Alex moving to the other side of the couch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the 10 million.
Let's see.
Fuck a snail.
Fuck a snail.
This is an easy one. I should have started
Hashtag
with this
fuck
one.
a snail.
Whoa,
With a
we're
spider
gonna get a
boner.
lot of followers on that one. Would you rather
Is that on the
receive-
Pornhub shut?
Snail fuck.
Again, I wish Dan was here for this. Would you rather receive $100,000 right now or $500,000 in 5 years?
Wait, how much up front?
100,000 now or 500,000 in 5 years?
100,000 now.
Yeah, 100,000 now.
I don't know what's gonna happen in 5 years.
Yep.
Dollars may not be worth shit.
And I'm broke.
Yeah,
I'm broke now. I need my money.
it's my money and I want it now.
J.G. Wentworth.
I think I'd go for the 500,000 in 5.
You're so
Yeah.
responsible.
I
Jose.
think I would too.
Yeah, like
If I could go 5 years before without it, I could probably go 5 years now.
I'd probably bet like that I'm going to be alive in 5 years.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that, but okay.
Yeah.
2 more left. We got 2 more left. And we're gonna get weird. Would you rather be able to sleep with anyone you want, but it takes a year off your life each time, or you get to be immortal with no sexual contact, including masturbation?
So be in hell or be in heaven is what you're telling me right now.
But for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take option 1. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with option 1. Because like, what happens if the Earth blows up? You're not gonna be immortal then.
Earth's not gonna blow up.
Well, you never know. Fucking like a giant meteor fucking crashes into it.
Or
And that'd be-
Galacticus comes by and just
Well,
fucking...
if you're gonna if you
I
live
think you
forever,
guys are all. I
Galactus,
think you
not
guys are missing the whole point here.
Well,
That with option,
nice.
Galactus is copyrighted, so I need another supervillain that's not copyrighted.
Okay, well played.
Cosmactus.
Galacticus.
Galacticus. That sounds like something that would have been in that Fantastic Four reboot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, and final question of the night. Would you rather have penis for toes or toes for toe for penis?
Jesus Christ! Every week, fucking penis questions. So a penis for toes
Or a toe for a
or a
penis?
toe for a penis.
I usually wear socks with my sandals, so who knows?
So I would have 3 penises.
What? No. You only have 3 toes? What?
No, I have my own penis and 2 toes.
You only have 2 toes?
That's even worse.
Oh, you mean
Each one of your toes would be a penis.
Oh, each individual. It's
Not
just
your
the
big
one.
toe, not just the big toe. Well, I was like, oh my god, this is a
Better
revelation.
the big toe. Better the big toe than the little toe.
Yeah, I'd
Or
rather
maybe
have.
LeBron James's weird little toe.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine getting like 11 penises sucked at the same time?
You just totally blew this question around. Everyone's like, no, we don't want that. And like, it got real quiet. We all
Like,
imagined it.
wait a minute. I don't think my heart could take that. Wait, did I choose immortal last
It takes 1 year off you.
Oh, yeah.
Foot fisting. Hey.
Yeah, I'll go with the penis toes. I think Alex said same thing.
Yeah, penis toes over here.
What if you have a big fucking toe?
Well, I imagine they would be toe-sized penises.
Yeah, that's what I got out of that. And
then-
my toes, they look like dicks.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, same size as my toes right now. It's just penises.
No. Your toe, your toe
So-
penis would reflect what your
Hold on.
current penis is.
So my penis would be, like, it would just be the size, my toes would be the size of my penis?
Yeah.
And they'd get boners and everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be painful to walk.
Right?
Oh, but man, my toes are really little. I don't want to make
Or
a sacrifice.
It'd give a new meaning to kick somebody's ass.
We have nothing for that.
You're on
All
the
of a
roll,
sudden,
Jose.
it's sexual assault.
Yeah, it would be renewing to sexual assault.
Seriously, you couldn't even go to the beach or fucking.
Imagine,
Indecent exposure.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
Imagine,
bury
like-
my toes in the sand.
but imagine somebody like Rex
Oh,
Ryan,
you burn your toes.
all the foot fetishes.
Oh god.
Be like,
Yeah, well,
oh,
that's what I said.
bring a new definition to hangnail. Tough actin' to actin'. So I guess
I
we're-
just jizzed in my shoes.
So, like, is it still considered athlete's foot? Boom.
so we're trying to get on to our next beer of the night. Should you guys pass that down?
Oh, sorry.
This one?
Yep.
Who brought this?
That would be me. That is the Knee Deep Brewing of California. It is an Imperial American Porter. It comes in at 10%. This is the Imperial version of their regular Tanilla. So you're looking at, dark, a light, I would say like a moderate head on it. So coffee, vanilla, espresso, and of course they put a little extra hops in it to balance it out, so it's not just all sweetness. So what do you guys think?
It's a little smoky.
It's smooth as all hell.
Has a nice rich head.
And you said it was 10%?
Yeah, 10%.
You definitely do not taste that 10%.
Yeah, that one of the big warnings doing a little research on this beer. Besides it being rated 92 on Beer Advocate, I believe. But they said this is considered one of the most dangerous imperial porters out there because it's a little too easy to drink. that it really sneaks up on you.
Wait, there's 10%?
This is 10%. Oh, and Jose's up.
Ball. That's all, folks.
So, and it's for since we've been knowing this lately, it comes in at 48 IBU.
So let me ask you guys: do you usually agree with like Beer Advocate on the ratings?
For the most part,
they have like the official rating, and then they would call it what, the Bros.
The Bros.
But
Yeah.
the Bros are defunct right now.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
They're no longer doing ratings, so those ratings only exist for beers,
Okay.
for older beers. Newer stuff that's come out can't get a the Bros rating.
So would you say that it's would you guys mostly agree with it, or
I would say within give or take 5 points.
Yeah.
In either direction, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah,
that's kind of a strong?
I think that rate beer. Well, for my personal taste, I think that rate beer is a lot more lenient, a lot more forgiving. Than
Yeah.
Beer
Yeah, I was
Advocate.
gonna bring that up. I don't know because 5 points either way. Something ranked at 90.
Right. So if it's a
You can
90,
go 85 to all the way to 95.
right? As far as I'm concerned, like what I think of the beer, because for instance, High Life is rated I think 96.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that it's a damn good beer. Every time I revisit it, I'm like, holy shit, there's a good beer. But I don't know if it's a 96 for me, just because it's so accessible. One of the alluring things about the hobby of craft beer is hunting down those white whales, man. So like, if you could get it all the time, you might not value it as much as something that you gotta work a little harder to get.
Yeah, I agree. I would give a highlight a 90.
But remember, whatever you might be able to get very easily, other people are dying to get.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's all relative.
Like, zombie
it's all
dust
relative.
is not that hard to get in Chicago, but
It's not a cakewalk. but
right, it's not a
definitely-
cakewalk, but it's a lot
yeah,
easier.
It is. Yeah, no, for sure. And that one's actually rated 100 on
Right.
Beer Advocate.
Yeah, and that one I agree with. I think Zombie Dust is the best traditional straight up pale ale.
I think it's a hop forward pale ale. I think it's in like the Midwest tradition of their hoppy pale ales. Daisy Cutter, Zombie Dust obviously is the pinnacle of that.
But I mean, do you agree with that? Total Wine is always sticks to like putting the Beer Advocate like ratings on the bottom, like
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but they don't do it on all the beers though.
no, they
No.
just do it on the ones that are like notably like, oh, this one's 93 by the way.
I'm
But-
curious. Do they put it on highlight?
above.
Do they put the rating on highlight?
Yeah.
I wish they did it for all the beers, honestly.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Well, it would be
think-
helpful,
because there's
but
so
it's
many
that
breweries
it
out
might.
there.
If you're looking at something that's 93 and then you look at something that's 77, like the distributor might come back to you saying, "Hey, like
We don't need you
downplay-
telling people that.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They're not gonna.
Yeah.
So,
I
but I mean, personally,
Well, what's the
my
lowest
standpoint-
rating? What's the lowest rating you guys
80
have seen at?
89, I think, is what I read is the lowest that they'll show. A beer that they have ranked there has to be at least an 89.
I think I've seen like 87.
Really?
I feel like I've seen an 88, but it's definitely high 80.
I could have sworn someone there told me 89 was now the mark for
It was
something
definitely
to be
high
laced.
80.
Because there's so
Yeah,
many.
at least
because
yeah.
here's the thing: there's people that want to go in and buy. Like we know what brands we would personally buy, what breweries we would get that we would look for specifically. But let's say you're new to the game, or you want to buy a beer for a significant other, and like this is what happened last Christmas. Dan's girlfriend had texted me and she wanted to get him a beer. Or maybe it was their anniversary or something. I think it might have been their anniversary. And she wanted to get him a beer. She goes, oh, what's a good beer I can get from at Total Wine? And it's like, well, unless I'm there with you, I really can't tell you because I don't know what they're going to have. So I told her how to look up, how Total Wine down here in South Florida, on some of the beer, go to the special release aisle and ask them where that is because it's always moving around, at least the one she was going to go to. And look for whatever has 92 and up, and you can pick one of those, and you should be pretty safe with a pick like that.
Yeah, that's actually how I ended up picking up this one because I went to the porter section because I always like to see what's new, and this was the only one with a ranking on it. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, and I had, lots of positive feedback online. So I was like, we have a winner.
So speaking about South Florida, I know a couple of you guys wanted to talk about Dwyane Wade.
Yeah, man. So big news in the sports world, particularly here in South Florida. NBA free agency has been off the chain. And one of the biggest moves has been probably Dwyane Wade back to his hometown of Chicago. So I just thought we could take this moment to kind of reflect on what he meant to the Heat franchise and everything that he did. I mean, the guy was he's 34 years old now, has been with the Heat for 13 seasons. He is the franchise leader in points. He is the franchise leader in steals. He is the franchise leader in assists. And he is the franchise leader in this obscure metric called win share, which is a strange way to sort of measure how important you were to a team's given victory. So your share of the win. And he's the franchise leader in that category as well. He was here for our 3 championships.
MVP in the first one.
Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Only in his third year in the league.
Yeah, only in his third year in the league, and perhaps and also like a pillar of the community. All sorts of charities and initiatives. And on top of all of that, perhaps the most astounding statistic of all is that in those 13 years, he was never the highest paid player on the team.
I will say that he has played with some phenomenal players.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Team sport.
Yeah, man. And that's what I mean is that this guy was all about the franchise. The fact that he was the most talented and promising player on the team for so long, and to not be the highest paid player because you have bigger ambitions, because you want more for the organization.
Well, but here's the thing. His first season, when he came in, when he was a rookie, who was the star of the team?
Oh,
Caron Butler.
Caron Butler, yeah.
Who was the second star of the team? Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones.
I mean, would you pay a rookie, an unproven rookie, more than those two?
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, no, but you're on rookie contracts in NBA.
Well, I'm just saying, but would you?
Oh, no, of course not.
And another interesting stat is that he is in very, very rare company. He is only one of 6 NBA players to be drafted in the top 5 overall and to win 3 championships with the team that drafted him. So this guy really is sort of the embodiment. Like when you think Miami Heat, you think Dwyane Wade. That guy really, he meant everything to us for so long.
Yeah. And, the big debate is out there now that, Miami was for so long a football town. And Dwyane Wade came in at the perfect time because that's right when the local football team started to decline. And this whole time, unfortunately, they've been in a rut. So, but
Say the lemon.
yeah, it's been.
I don't know, because he came in 2003,
Right.
and they
we
made
did
the
win the.
Right, with Chad Pennington, the Dolphins made
that was
big
2008.
run. Right.
But they were still. That means we still had Jay Fiedler, and we were still making the playoffs every season.
Right. But I'm saying it was.
Think about that. The quarterback who most recently got us, not most recently, but the second most playoffs appearances or third most playoff appearances was Jay Fiedler.
Wow. But I mean, to me, even once the Heat won that first championship with Shaq, to me that's when it turned around and this started to become like, oh, this is a basketball town now. And then every year as it kept going and we got better and better, and especially once Bosch and LeBron came here, and then we owned the NBA, the NWO style took over, the hostile takeover. I don't know. To me, it's a basketball town, and it was perfect timing. It worked out. So a lot of people are saying that Dan Marino was considered the face of Miami sports, but now it's Dwyane Wade. That Dwyane Wade has taken the mantle from Dan Marino.
Yeah, I think there's an interesting argument to be made.
Do you think he still has it?
Yeah, because he won championships and he brought
Well,
championships to the
I
city.
Dan
understand-
Marino never left.
Right. I understand that Dan Marino played his entire career with a
Right.
single franchise. That really doesn't even seem to be the case anymore, though, particularly in the NBA, man. I think that era is sort of over. Because here's another player that's synonymous with a franchise, LeBron James, and that guy left. That guy left and won 2
But he went back.
championships in another city.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
right, and he
okay,
went
look
back.
at someone else then.
Well, but that's
Look, hey,
you know,
wait,
who's
wait,
to
no,
say
no,
the
but then you
future?
have, but you could argue though. You still have LeBron. I mean, Kobe.
But that's it. Kobe is from a generation
Antonio?
before.
What's his name? Duncan.
Tim Duncan is also on that list of players to win
Dirk?
3 championships.
Dirk. Yep.
Right, but these are all people that came into the league before Wade, man. Like I'm saying, that era is over.
Well,
That
I
I
mean,
agree with.
That remains to be seen for now because you can't say how it's gonna.
Well,
you don't-
Joakim Noah is still there.
Joakim Noah is where?
The Bulls.
No, he's not. He's in New York.
He's in New York.
Oh, wait, they traded him to.
Yeah, he's with
free
Derrick Rose
Yeah.
in New York.
When did this happen?
Dun, dun, dun.
2 days ago, a day ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
there you go.
free agency's
Okay,
been
okay,
crazy.
okay. Yeah, this free agency is fucking insane. Then.
Yeah, the Bulls team that Wade went to is very depleted. They've got
Yeah, it looks like
Rajon
garbage.
Rondo,
I
Jimmy
thought
Butler,
it was
and
like,
Wade.
oh look, Wade is going to with Joakim Noah.
Their center is Zaza Pachulia.
They have them.
Oh,
they
Oh
have,
no, he went to the Warriors. I'm
who is-
sorry.
Who do they have at the perimeter at the Bulls now? It's Wade,
Wade, Rondo, and
Rondo,
Butler.
and
Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
And combined,
Okay.
they have averaged. They have a 3-point shooting average
Wow,
of
that's a pretty,
31.9, which is 0.5%
They
less
picked up a
than the
pretty
lowest
elderly
team
team,
last
though.
year.
The
So
Bulls.
they're projected to
Rondo
be the worst
and-
3-point shooting
No,
team. in
well,
the
I
NBA.
mean, like in comparison, it's like what you could have gotten in free agency. It's like a lot of old players. and
What's really sad though is that you look at we offered Wade 2 years at 40.
2 years at 40.
2 years at 40, and he left for 2 years at 47 to a state with a higher income tax.
Right. They said it came down to about like 1.8 difference after the tax and everything.
It's really sad. I feel like for somebody that
but maybe
that
he
meant
just
so much
he
to
was
us-
curious. Like maybe I would just. Want
I think that there was a falling out in the
When
organization.
when I
Well, no. But here's the thing. Okay, if you look at it from the Heat's point of view, from the front office, from let's say Pat Riley's view, he's a diminishing player. His skills are diminishing. His health is
many injuries.
I mean, he came in with knee problems. He had he didn't finish his season at Marquette, his second to last season because knee problems. That has been, that's not a new issue for him. That has always been lingering, and from a purely business standpoint, if you get paid your money to continue doing what you're doing by saying we will pay, we bring in winners, does he hurt you? Your
I
chances of winning?
think what Pat Riley
Yep.
did.
Because what he is he's a legacy now.
Right. I think
He's
what
a
he
living
did is-
legacy.
I think what he did was absolutely spot on. I have absolute faith in this organization. Yeah, things look dark, but we always bounce back, man. We've created a tradition of winning. We've created a culture of winning, a culture of chasing championships. Yeah, we'll suck 2-3 years. It'll
Because,
be rough, but we'll be right back in it real fast, man.
Yeah, you want to know how fast we can do it? Does anyone remember the record the year before we got LeBron and Bosch?
I think we were like
we
Yeah,
won.
we were pretty bad.
We won 33 games.
Yeah.
That was it. So and then boom, right after
Right,
that,
and
bam.
that's a case where Wade.
But that's because they
Wade was
dumped
being
people.
Wade was
I-
being an asset. He was being an asset apart from just on the court, but by helping us recruit players.
Right.
I believe
And
for the
that's something
longest
that he
time.
I don't
didn't-
think no.
That's
I don't
something
think
he didn't do.
No,
this-
I don't think. I
this,
think it came down to
offseason.
because don't forget he was in the same draft as Bosch, as
LeBron.
James,
Yeah.
Carmelo.
as Carmelo.
Right,
And
and they all played on the
what's
USA
the other guy?
team together.
Oh, are you gonna name the
Oh, what's his
the
name?
dark horse? Fucking Darko.
yeah,
Darko
Milivojevic.
Milicic. Yeah. Oh God, the Detroit Pistons still roll in their.
They and then the four of them played on Team USA, so they had that. We came up together. We traveled. Immediately we played in the Olympics together. They bonded. So if you had the option of
Wade and
you-
James just went on vacation together. Like they're legit friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean they've been doing.
Well, that's
that.
what happened
You-
with Durant because he was in the same draft class as Curry and Iguodala, and they were in the same Olympic group, and that's why Durant went there.
And so here's the thing: would you go? If you had the option of if you had the option of going to whatever team you wanted to, would you go to let's say like you're James. You go with your friend who already won in Miami. You go to vacation there all the time, or do you go up to even further north to Toronto, higher taxes there than what you have in the States? You say the logical decision is, well, they already won. They managed to get Shaq there and win second year after he got there. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not get him?
And Bosch actually talked about it the other night. He was on HBO, and they were talking about it, and he was actually offered to go to Cleveland to go play with LeBron before he came to Miami, and he was like, I don't want to live in Cleveland. I talked to Dwyane. Let's go to Miami. So
I don't think it was so much as Wade was recruiting, as more of it was
all together.
It made sense. Where would you go? Okay, Cleveland, Ohio, you have state income tax. Florida, you don't. What the weather is, shorts and t-shirts pretty much every day of the year. Maybe one day it gets into the 40s. Maybe one day it gets into the 50s. 2 days it's in the 60s. You can still wear your shirt and t-shirts in the 60s if you're from up north. Toronto, it snows. Good part of the year.
Yeah.
Cleveland, it snows. What's your nightlife like?
Exactly.
Is that where you want to raise a family? All those things add up, so it's like the logical sense.
Yeah. One thing of this whole thing with Wade, I think it was a great decision on both parties to do what they did. It's going to be good for the Heat, and Wade gets to go home. Like when you read that letter that he put for put in the newspaper and online and everything, it sounded like this was always his childhood dream because he grew up watching Michael Jordan and everything, to be in a Bulls jersey, play in his hometown. That's fine. So maybe after the 2 years, he'll be like, you know what, I'll come back and do one last run with the Heat. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's fine. There should still be a statue outside Triple A from.
That's a great point you bring up.
Well,
So
yeah,
you think,
actually, mentioning Michael Jordan, look at him. He played for the Bulls and the Wizards.
Yeah,
right, but that was after being retired.
Right.
Right,
he
but
came back.
he was mad with the front office there too. Like what
That's the
happened
thing.
with Wade.
That's how. But there are rumors that Wade was unhappy with Pat Riley.
Right.
Because what do the Heat preach? We preach. They preach loyalty.
100%. 100%. That's what it was. I think that he thought that he deserved to get paid what he didn't get paid over the years. Pat Riley was like, no. We have a chance to go after some big fish and set up another ring. And Dwyane was offended.
And
but
there was something on top of what he said to pile on his thing. The rumor was that he told Wade, "You made that sacrifice for your friends. You didn't do it for yourself or for the organization. You didn't leave money there for that. So we don't owe you anything because that was your conscious decision to bring in your friends."
That's an awesome point because Bosch and Wade had the same agent, and Bosch's agent.
Boom.
That agent was able to get Bosch the max.
Yep.
At the cost of not getting that money for Wade.
Yep.
They could have cut it. They could have cut it even, instead of just Bosch getting the max.
Yeah. So I'll tell you guys about the first time I met Dwyane Wade.
Nice.
It was his rookie season. I had flown down from. At the time, I was playing a D3 college football in Chicago, and I flew down for the weekend or something. It was during break or whatever. I don't know if it was J term or something like that. And I ended up taking my mother to go see one of the Lord of the Rings movies, maybe the final one. So I said, "Hey, let's go see that Sunset Place," which is, guys don't know about it. It's a big theater down here in South Miami, and we ended up heard something on the radio driving there that, the Heat were going to be at the Sunset Place for family day, and I end up dropping my mom off at the theater, and I ran over to Nike Town, and I figured if they were going to be there, if the Heat were going to be there, they'd be at Nike Town. Makes sense. But report. Yeah, kind of hard to talk
Right.
the opposite way. So I walked over to the store, didn't see them. I said, "All right, well, I guess they're not here." So I met up with my mother at the theater, and we saw all these lines outside the theater. Well, it was their family day, and they were all 5 starters were working at the time were working at Sunset Place in the movie theater. So you had Brian Grant, tearing up the tickets when you walked in, to let you in.
So awesome.
There was a line of people to take pictures with Eddie Jones on one side of the theater, and there was a line for everyone to take pictures with Caron Butler on the other side, because he was the superstar. He was the hot shit. This guy is the future of the franchise. And then Lamar Odom was he was scooping up popcorn and throwing it at the employees behind the counter. And then there was this lowly rookie there with a cast on his arm taking people's orders.
Love it.
With an employee next to him. So like, welcome to the movie, whatever, Sunset Place. Can I take your order? And it's like, I'll have a large popcorn with butter and 2 sodas. And I'm like, holy shit, this is Dwyane Wade. So then I'm there with my mother, and she's like, I'll pay for it since you bought the tickets. So she takes out her card, gives it to him. He swipes it and everything. Like he fucking knows what he's doing. He looks over the shoulder at the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, you're doing a good job. And then my mother looks at him, reaches over, touches his arm. It's like, I'm sure once the cast comes off, you're going to be a very good player. And I was like, holy shit, this is so embarrassing. He's like, and he says, thank you, ma'am. My mother says the same thing. And I'm looking at him, and he's like, he's just a few years older than me. I'm so embarrassed. He kind of gives me the look of like, don't worry, bro.
I feel you.
It's like my mother would say the same thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, well,
He's always been a humble guy, man. He's got a great personality, man.
Yeah, you could always, like, when there was off days and the Heat were, like, in a homestand, and so, they were in town, you could always do the hashtag Dwyane Wade and, like, look up pictures, and he'll be riding, like, especially when LeBron was here. So fucking LeBron, or he would be riding with Bosch or with UD, and they'll just be on the street. He always rolled down the street, windows down, and people would take pictures. Oh my God, Dwyane Wade or whatever, and he'll always smile on his face, peace sign, like waving at the fans. Man, he loved the city.
It was a treasure, bro.
Yeah, I never got to meet him, but I would say my favorite Dwyane Wade memory as a Heat player, and it's not even playoffs besides winning championships. Obviously, that's exciting, and oh my God. But it was a regular season game against the Chicago Bulls, of all the teams, and it went to double overtime. And Dwyane Wade was just taking over the shit, and he hit, there was like 2 seconds left, and he hit from half court, nothing but net, and he ran, the place was going absolutely crazy at the AAA, and he got up on top where like they do the play-by-play and everything, and he did the infamous, for the first time ever, pointing at his jersey, pulling at his jersey, and saying, this is my house. And I was out with Tony, and we were at Buffalo Wild Wings, and everyone was just, like, up on their feet, like, screaming and fucking going crazy. And it was, like, a Tuesday, like, 1:30 in the morning because the game went so damn long. It was, like, that was just, like, one of those things I was like, dude, this guy is the greatest thing that ever happened to fucking Miami sports.
That brings me to a question I had. If they do build the statue, or when they do build the statue, what pose should he be in?
That one.
He should be on his knees thanking LeBron and Shaq and Bosch for coming here to helping him win.
Oh, come on, son.
Hey, he helped them just as much as they helped, man. It was a two-way street.
Oh, and by the way,
he didn't
fair
win.
exchange. Neither of them had it.
He didn't win when they were here, but he won. They won.
Whoa!
He
He did win when they weren't here. He had one up on them when they got here. In fact,
yeah, but he's saying Shaq.
And Shaq too.
He was saying
he didn't
Shaq.
win when Shaq wasn't here, and he didn't win when Shaq wasn't here.
Right, it's a team sport.
Yeah, he was obviously the major factor.
Like I said, he should be on his knees thanking him.
That's a lot of statues.
Yeah, fuck that. No,
Well, it's the Heat. They'll retire anybody's number. I think they retired Dan Marino's 13. They retired Jordan's 23.
That's weird.
We're
the
It's
only
a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, we're the only city besides Chicago that did that. I mean, I kind of get it, but it's kind of weird. Anyway, speaking of Chicago, the city went to.
But you realize he allowed them to do it though.
Yeah.
That they got Jordan's permission to do that.
Oh yeah.
I think that's only solely because of Pat Riley, because he wins everywhere he goes.
That looks good on the franchise.
All the way from pros down to college.
Yeah, no. And rarely I trust. But I was going to say real quick, since he went to Chicago, so we can wrap this up to the next thing, is the the Miami Herald did a beautiful tribute, a whole page that unfolds or whatever. The keys under the mat, Dwayne. Thank you for 13 years. We'll leave the key under the mat.
That was nice.
And then the Chicago Tribune put in their newspaper the front page, him slumped over, holding both of his knees, and it says Plan A, and then in parentheses, ARP. I was like,
Yeah, what a warm welcome from the Windy
right?
City.
And he said all the media's been dumping on him. I was like, what a waste of money. We traded away, finally were able to get rid of Derrick Rose, which they tore that kid up. It's not his fault he got injured. I mean,
Well,
it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, they tore him up just like his knees are torn up.
Yeah, exactly. But so they finally they're like, we got rid of this one point guard with bad knees. Now we got an aging shooting guard with bad knees. What are we
Sometimes
doing?
You just got to take the bull by its horn.
I love that's Jose's contribution.
Hey, so
to this.
Dave, you disagree that Wade is the face of Miami sports? You think it should still be Marino?
Yeah, because
And you base it entirely on him just being a single franchise player.
Well, Marino made
Not-
this a
not
football
single-
town.
Yeah, Marino made this a football town. It wasn't really.
Whoa.
Anything.
Come on, guys. Hold on. Undefeated season before we had Marino. We weren't a football town already?
Yeah.
Come
that's
on.
true.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
We were
fair.
already a football
Yeah,
town.
It's
All right.
it's a football town still. If you go by any park tonight, well, we are recording this on a Friday night. You go past any large public park, and there are football games being played already.
Sure. Tropical Park's probably got some football
Devon
games.
Air Park.
I'm
They
sure
have-
there's also some basketball games going too, but it's a lot easier to get a pickup game of basketball.
Well, you
going
also
than a
have to
pickup game
remember
of
Marino
football.
was
of course.
during the prime time of Miami football, college and professional.
Yeah,
I think-
everything
all right,
was
so
booming then.
Like-
My whole feeling on this is that I think that Dan Marino means more to football than Dwyane Wade means
Yeah.
to basketball.
Oh, I mean, see, here's the thing.
They're both equally important to their franchises, but I think that Wade has done more for Miami sports than Dan Marino
Well, okay,
did.
on Marino's teams, he was the superstar. There weren't there were other stars, but he was the biggest star on the team at any time that he was playing. Was Dwyane Wade? Could you say Dwyane Wade was the superstar? That he was the largest star?
Well, all right. So the
At
first
any time?
the first championship, you mentioned that he has to thank Shaq, but he was named MVP of that series
In the finals.
And in the finals, that's right. What counted? And as far as LeBron and Bosch are concerned, they made it very clear that they deferred to him, that this was his team.
He was the captain. Dwayne
But-
was the captain.
But
Dwayne
LeBron
and UD.
was the finals MVP.
He was
both
the finals
times.
MVP. Yep, and
When he-
well deserved. I
That's-
well,
okay,
I
so that's
was
why
a
I say-
LeBron fan first.
Okay, so then the second part is he did do his whole career with one franchise here, and then when it comes to the records, I don't know offhand what NBA records Dwyane Wade has, not team records, but NBA records.
Right.
He owns. Whereas Dan Marino, when he retired, because since then they've changed the rules of the NFL to allow
More passing.
more ability, more time for the quarterback. But at his retirement, he had like the biggest records that a quarterback
Most
can get.
touchdown, most yards.
Yeah,
yeah. That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
That's why That's why. Okay, so if he's your hometown guy, that he never left you, and when he retired, he owned those records.
Marino means more to football than Dwyane Wade means to basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's been a lot of players that have been greater than Dwyane Wade in basketball, with more accolades, more championships, more records. But as far as
but do you think it may be a generational thing that you're saying that? Because I feel that if you ask somebody older than us who might not be as remembering of Dan Marino, they're going to still say, no, wait, it's still Dan Marino.
to me, Dan Marino is the best quarterback that I have ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
Better than Brett Favre, because as far as I'm concerned, Brett Favre was just a numbers thing. If you play that many fucking games, you're going to get those yards. You're going to get those touchdowns.
Yeah, like, dude,
It's not to say that he wasn't a good or a great quarterback. He was definitely a great quarterback, but he was no Dan Marino.
yeah,
And Peyton
Back-
Manning is on his
and-
way if he hasn't already.
And Joe Montana had a better team around him. Okay, so if you're telling me, who are you picking first, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, or Brett Favre? I'm picking Dan Marino.
Of course.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so then,
But what we're talking about is what you've done for sports in that city. And Wade was an integral part of bringing 3 championships, the first championships, to these.
yes, he's a part
An
of it.
integral part. It wouldn't
But
have
at the
happened
same
without
time,
him.
he's not the okay. When Shaq was here, was he the face of the team?
Shaq was a mercenary.
Doesn't matter. Diesel was still the.
He was a mercenary.
when you look at
He's not Miami sports face. He's
No,
just, show up, get a championship, you're welcome. On to Arizona.
Okay, so if you watch the championship DVD of our first championship here with him, what does it show? It shows who's the big winner. It shows Shaq on the bus shooting out the super soaker hitting everybody because it was so hot out there. That's the face, and then here's our up and comer MVP Wade, and then when Shaq left and it was just Wade for a couple seasons, he was our guy. He's the carryover. He's the one that's still here. And then when James and Bosch got here, well, now he's just another member of the team.
He got overshadowed a lot in those years from 2006 to 2010.
Yeah.
He was playing some of the best basketball in the world, but the team wasn't getting it done. It's not his fault.
So exactly. So at that point, if he was being overshadowed, how can he be the face, of the Miami sports?
He was still playing.
No. He was saying before LeBron got here.
Right.
He was saying that break in between Shaq and
From our
LeBron.
06 championship.
Okay,
so we
but then
got
at the
LeBron.
same time, if you want to take out 4 years of Marino's career, 85 to 90, that's he was playing the best quarterback. Not some of the best. He was playing the best you could do.
Yeah, but old Blue Eyes is always going to suffer from the fact that he didn't win us a Super Bowl.
That's true.
And that was an organization that already had a history of excellence.
But then here's the other thing. After
Yeah, there was some
the
ideas.
the Heat didn't have a history of excellence till Wade showed up.
But since
Boom.
the end of his career,
That was Riley's power move was getting him. That was Riley's like, you know what? I'm setting us up. This is going to be our guy. They built around him. They built around him for a lot
in
of
fairness to that, their pick was going to be Chris Bosh, but Toronto took him right before, and they were like, all right, we'll take Dwyane Wade. That was their second
but here's
choice.
the thing.
Thank God.
You still got the other reason that Marino still would be the face of Miami sports is all his charitable actions since his time being here. He's had more time to put in the charities and all that, whereas.
That's a time thing. That's not really a fair argument.
Okay, but then you say, well, why would you say that he's not? Why would you say Wade's not the face? Well, because he hasn't put in that all the charities. I mean, Dan Marino
he's still
Foundation
doing it.
is known.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Wade said he
They've
was
had more
still
time.
going to keep everything down here,
Yeah.
the Way of
Well,
Wade.
that-
And
Way
No,
of
but
Wade and the Dream Up program or whatever it's
you
called.
could say that, and we, for now, days after.
Oh, we can't say anything. I mean, I don't know.
But you
if
can't
future
say. But
things.
you can't say. But you can't base that saying that he's going to do it based off what he said. His future, what he may do. You can only go by of what has happened right now, and Marino's foundation has done more than Wade's.
has had more time to do more.
True, very true.
Right.
But by the fact, if you want to look at just by the numbers, it's still he's done more.
right.
But
So
now,
people
but now
have
you're
to-
not even talking about sports though, and we're talking about the face of Miami sports.
Yeah, but that
I think-
factors in. Who do you like? Well, look what he did. Look what he
Wade,
did for us.
Both of them. I think both of them are equally important to their franchises. I think that what Wade did was create a tradition of champions.
Yeah,
That
I've
he
got
was, he was a big part of that.
I've got a really good analogy to go with this. All right, I'm going pro wrestling here. What a shock! To me, it's like the equivalent of when people say The Rock or Stone Cold is the fate. Like when you say professional wrestling, that's the name, opposed to Hulk Hogan, who did put pro wrestling on the map. He was the fucking man forever. But as times change and wrestling took that next leap to mainstream, it was The Rock and Stone Cold, and they became the face of wrestling.
I think if you ask somebody who doesn't follow wrestling as much as you do, and they said if you say who's the biggest wrestler that you can think of from the WWF, they're gonna say Hulk Hogan.
I disagree. I think The
JJ's
Rock,
point is that it depends on
But-
how old that person
because
is.
he's global. That's what I'm saying. Like Dwayne Wade's
Yeah.
more global because the NFL is an
He's
American
global
sport.
right now, But at
Well,
the
yeah,
same
man,
time,
he's got a big brand in China.
Hulk Hogan. At the same time, how many movies, TV shows did he do in the 90s?
But that I don't think any of that has to do with being your hometown sports,
Yeah.
like your quintessential legend.
Yeah, to me, my question, like the
Hey, look, you don't have to play for a single team. Michael Jordan is synonymous with the Chicago Bulls, even though he played another sport with other teams, and he also played for another team. So
And then bought another
So
team.
being on a single team your
That sucks.
entire career, I don't think is gonna take away from it as much as you.
But
may
if you
suspect.
but
How
if you
about
do
Brett-
it, then
Brett
it adds
Favre,
on to it, though.
Brett Favre is synonymous with the Green Bay Packers.
oh,
Nobody cares.
and he went to the rival.
Yeah, nobody cares that he went to the Vikings and the Jets. That's a footnote
Yeah,
in
that's
his legacy.
That's like Dwyane Wade going to the Knicks.
Well,
Yeah,
but he went-
I think the city would have been mad at him because there was like rumors of the Knicks and then the Cavs. If he would have went to Cleveland,
oh, that would have been bad.
I think this town would have maybe have turned on him. I think that would have been bad. But I don't know. But it didn't
And I
happen,
still-
so
and-
there's no
and-
way to say.
And the same thing, maybe had LeBron stayed, it might have became a basketball town, but it's still a football town. And
You think it's still a football town now?
yeah, I don't think it was. It was never a football town.
Oh, you?
I mean, I'm sorry. I think it was never a basketball town. I think it started going that way.
Wow. I disagree.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know, man.
they've sold out every. They've never not had a sellout in the last. I can't think how many years of Dolphin games.
Wherever
You know.
LeBron James goes, that town is a basketball town.
Because but that's the thing.
Yeah, but the Heat games have been sold out ever.
Heat games.
Heat
before,
games were sold out for those 4 years, man. It was-
Yeah, those years.
Yeah.
But there were games that were not sold out before. And the thing
Right.
with the Dolphins is they pull. If you go talk to people from those games, they pull Broward and West Palm Beach as well.
Yeah, because
Heat games don't pull that much.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a Miami thing. It's maybe Broward.
I think it's a
Don't
lo-
forget,
it's a
like the
location.
networks, like when they were doing the blackout stuff.
The
thankfully,
next-
they don't do that. Like CBS 4, or whoever was the Dolphin affiliate, they would buy all the extra tickets to ensure.
No, they wouldn't. Not during
I
the
read
playoff
that all
games.
the time, dude. Oh, not the
Not
playoff.
during playoff games. They don't do that.
Of course not.
I mean, as far
I'm
as
talking about regular season.
as far as football is concerned, the next
CBS
closest
doesn't buy them out.
franchise is Tampa Bay. And to have the stadium located near county line. Broward isn't a very long county. It's a lot wider than it is long.
But see, this is a good. That's why they're saying it's up for argument. And
But I'm saying if if you look at South Florida as a metropolis, then you're going to include Broward and Palm Beach.
Right,
in
the
that as well.
tri-county, yeah, tri-county.
There's
for sure.
no way if you were to put it up to a vote that you think you can honestly think that Wade's going to get more likes than Marino.
I would love to see that happen. I
You
wish
know
it was,
Wade would get crushed, right?
Let's do it. I'm down to do it.
Wade would get crushed.
Can we do it? Can we do it with Beer Bros BS with our audience, with our listener? Let's hear what you have to say, listener.
Yeah.
Place your votes.
That brings us to our
Ask-
third beer of the night.
Right. I have brought to us today from Trillium Brewing Company in Boston, Massachusetts, Dialed In Double IPA, brewed with Chardonnay and Gewürztraminer juice, whatever the fuck that is.
Can you say that again?
Gewürztraminer.
Wait, can I try to read it?
You know what? That's a great idea. This is one of the few beers that Trillium makes with actual other shit added to it, other than their
Gewürztraminer.
Gewürztraminer.
Gewürztraminer. W's are pronounced as V's.
And I don't know what the hell it is, even after the little linguistics lesson.
Gewürztraminer.
I just told you pronounce the W as a V.
Love
How
it.
do you pronounce that? Like the umlaut on the U.
As a ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So what else about this beer?
Yeah, so it's one of the few beers they brew with other shit added to it. They're known for their just very hop forward beers. So this has extra juices added to it to make it extra.
Yeah,
juicy.
it's very juicy. Actually, the aftertaste,
Oh.
like after you drank this, and like you wait for a while, you still have that juice like residual.
It's a
for
wine
mouthfeel.
grape.
It's a wine. Oh, makes sense.
It's a white wine grape.
The Chardonnay, I really feel like the Chardonnay kind of dries it out. It's a little.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's funny. Its origin is Alsace, France.
That's very
The
good.
Alsace region.
Yeah. It's really good though. I still like it a bunch.
Ile de Paris, Alsace Lorraine.
Is this something that
Yves Saint Laurent.
is this nationwide, or did you do this via trade?
Trade, man. You can't get Trillium any other way. They literally do not distribute. You have to buy it at the brewery or trade.
And where are they at? Where are they
They're
from?
located in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm actually very lucky. I made a contact with a young lady that lives not far from the brewery. So,
Okay.
so yeah. So she and she loves Funky Buddha beer. So I have a very
Well, that's easy.
fortuitous relationship, trading relationship.
Thanks, Boston lady.
Yes, thank you, Kristen, if you're listening.
Thanks, Kristen.
Gewürztraminer.
Is that from Alsace also?
No, that is from Deutschland.
From Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Gewürztraminer. That's how you pronounce it.
Is Alsace on the border with Germany?
I have to look it up. I forgot. I used to know the. It was one of the areas around Paris.
What's that one city that keeps that over its history has been switched back and forth between the two? I believe it's part of France now.
I just know.
It has a super German name.
I just know that that's the thing is a lot of those cities will have like two names.
Yeah, they'll have their French name and their German name.
And it's even worse in parts of what's now, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, Hungary, because they
Crazy.
changed every 50, 60 years.
Yeah,
Where-
it's a mixed up place.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, you don't want to get the name wrong either because
It's
there's a
like
lot
it's like the Czech and Slovakia, Czech Republic and Slovakia. They speak Cyrillic languages. They're Slavic people, so it's like closer to Russian than it is German. But they're a lot closer to Germany and Austria, who speak German. It's just
It's that Austro-Hungarian Empire, man.
yeah,
What a clusterfuck.
yeah. So
Thanks,
what'd you say,
Austro-Hungarians.
JJ. You didn't speak. I don't know what that means.
I was gonna say. I mean, we talked about the heat for a while. Do you want me to save my story for next time?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was a lot of heat talk.
go
Those-
eat. So my story for today is trying to be more casual, but I found out while
Balls
reading-
out.
Yeah, I found out while reading through the internet at work, between when I'm doing tasks. I don't.
Whoa, you read on the internet?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the internet?
The funny thing is, I was going to say, don't admit that you're not working at work. Mistake
Hey,
101.
wait, hold on. I don't smoke. I get smoking breaks. Okay.
Well played.
So, either way, there's a brewing in the UK that they have employed AI to develop to better develop their beers. It's called IntelligentX Brewing Company.
What is it? What is it?
IntelligentX.
Okay. I don't have any of those.
It sounds like a company from 2000. Like, we're IntelligentX Brewing.
Sounds like a bad guy from Godzilla. What the fuck?
The cats got out again.
So what they do is that they use Facebook Messenger bots to provide questions to fans about their beers, and then they, based on the choice response, they formulate new recipes for the beers.
That's interesting. Robot beer.
Robo beer.
So I wonder if they ever got trolled. You're like, so what would you like in your beer? You'd be like, cat hair.
Do you like this beer?
Rat
No,
feces.
it's not weak enough. Okay, just water it down and.
You know what? This is kind of on topic what you're talking about, but if I don't say it now, I'm going to completely forget and never bring it up again. There's a new Royal Caribbean cruise ship, the Harmonia Seas, coming out, and they're going to have a robot bartender
Awesome.
at one of the bars, and it showed it working.
Oh, that's terrible. That's one of my favorite part of the cruises. Is
It's to
connect-
talk to the bartenders.
It's to connect to the bartenders.
Yes.
It's you know what it is? Is that first night, show them you know how to drink and you know how to drink properly, and they won't forget you the rest of the cruise.
Yep. So I was going to ask you how you felt about that, and you answered it before I could.
That's terrible.
I think it's a little cool.
Like people are
okay,
like, oh,
let
look
me
at
tell you
this is
something.
the
It's a
future.
novelty.
You might not know this about me,
Yeah, it also gives
on a
one less
cruise-
person a job.
but on a cruise, I drink
The
a lot.
future.
I drink a lot on a cruise.
And
Oh,
off of a
no
cruise.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
What
on
you
water, on water and land. Yeah. I mean
And in the air, right? I mean,
if we're gonna be honest about it.
do? You don't
might as
just
well.
you don't just do curling all day on the deck and
do you mean shuffleboard?
Yeah, shuffleboard.
shuffleboard.
Imagine that.
It's not in
You're
Canada,
such a
eh?
Canadian.
We're not in Canada, eh? We're in the Caribbean, eh? Hey, shuffleboard, eh? So we I mean, how many countless times that you know the new policies is they have what they call unlimited drink. They have drink packages.
Yeah, I like those.
and
The
it's
unlimited
15
one.
drinks.
All of them have it now.
I mean, I usually get cut off by 8 or 9 o'clock, and usually the people I talk with at dinner, usually I meet them up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's no way we can drink 15." And I keep trying to see Alex, and you keep moving in the fucking way. I thought Alex opened it.
Alex,
No,
learn how to open
no,
a
that
can.
was mine. That was mine.
He's a cicerone.
I
He
opened
knows
that
how to
one.
open it.
Yeah, he opened that one.
It's not rocket science.
So
Apparently
or
for
is it?
Jose it is.
So
It's not computer
so
science.
it gets to the point where you start getting the drinks and you get cool with the bartenders and pretty much the rule is you have to wait 5 minutes in between drinks. Well, if you really want to go hard, I don't want to wait 5 minutes in between drinks. You start talking to them, they realize that you're a human. You realize that they're a human, and they'll either charge you for your drinks later,
Yeah.
or they just start hooking it up. And I feel totally bad that the last night of the one cruise I went on with Dan, one of the two from last year, this guy from Mexico gave us his name and everything. I wrote down his Facebook name and all that, and completely in my drunken scribble wrote something completely wrong. And I was like, "Oh, we're totally gonna be friends, this and that." He was giving me free shots every single night after they cut me off. He's like, "You have 2 more drinks left." I'm like, "Okay, so I need something with the most alcohol in it possible." Mai Tais. And he looks at me, he's like, "Right choice. Right choice. Wrong choice. But I'll do it again." And a machine is great because they're going to make sure that you can't get those free drinks anymore.
Yeah, of course everyone's looking at it like, oh, look, robots are pouring the drinks. Look how cool this is. It's
Yeah, I
doing
mean, while
this
all the
stuff.
AI stuff is pretty cool, like sometimes it does come a lot short.
It's exciting, but it's also kind of terrifying. I'm incredibly skeptical of robots. I
saw Terminator.
I hate them. No. I I think it's okay to be robo-amorous. That's fine. I have no opposition to that. But I mean,
Are you saying you would like to make love to a robot?
I think some people are already robo-amorous. I mean,
Is that what you're saying?
I think
they're
I
night.
think it's
Some people's
yeah, well,
nightstands start to vibrate.
Look
you
how
know?
excited Jose's getting. He has to change position. He has to get a little cross room.
I'm totally skeptical of artificial intelligence. I think that that's going to be a serious misstep. I
What
think
if we can control it?
that's the
Can
problem.
you?
That's the
Well,
problem,
is it
that
really
some-
intelligence if you can control it?
So, well, I mean, people are considered intelligent and they're controlled all the fucking time. In
We're
very,
never
very
controlled.
subversive
But not
ways.
what he's trying to say. Like you can't just like on and off switch like oh, we want to make you more dumber now. Okay.
I don't know. I think that's debatable. I'm like I said, I'm really highly skeptical of. I was like most people. I was a little excited at the novelty of the prospect, but yeah, I think you guys are right. I think that there's a lot of downsides to not being a human.
No, I'm purely coming from a over drinking, a binge drinking standpoint when I'm on vacation.
And that's fine. I think that's
No, but
fine.
sometimes you just want the human touch. Like you want to actually.
I just want to be able to drink more and be able to talk and humanize with them, and
Yeah, but like you just said, humanize.
Yeah, like you want a personal experience.
so I can
Even if your aim,
Right.
So I
even
can
if your
drink more.
aim is just to drink more,
Right.
there's still like a
I mean,
a
if I
want
could-
for
if I'm
if you could
I just wanna
bamboozle a machine to. Like if you find a way to just jimmy it, and the shit just keeps squirting tequila.
drink, which brings me to another point.
Well, actually, You could probably bamboozle that same machine. You just like put on a hat, like, and
It won't recognize your face anymore.
Those old cartoon
With the little nose and the mustache.
Yeah, I'll be like, Mr. Marks, welcome back tonight. Like, well, it's good to be here. See,
Yeah. I'll have another one of those, please. No, the way it works is that you put in your, with cruises, your room key, they take your picture, and it recognizes you put your card into the slot in front of you. It's kind of like in some casinos.
Put your card in the slot in front of you?
Yeah.
you just start stealing cards.
No, but the
casino?
face has to match. The robot scans your face.
well, you
after
put a
your
picture
card
in front.
See, but
It's pretty hard to tell if you actually have a 3D object versus a picture.
Yeah,
That's true.
You know what I do is when I usually go on a cruise, the last couple of times I think they've saved the picture. Is that they'll ask you to take the picture. You have to kind of look into the little camera thing that they have there, and I always have to take off my glasses. So there's this little thing I like to do because when I go on vacation, I just want to have a good time. I just want to laugh. I want to joke the whole time. I don't want to do anything serious. And what I always do, I always cross my eyes, and I make like a weird, like a smile, like a. And usually, immediately, the people, I'll put the glass. I'll be like. And immediately, like they'll chuckle, and they'll stop. Like, oh, it's embarrassing. Maybe he's embarrassed. Let's stop.
I love it.
And then my family sees me, and they're like, "Stop fucking around." And I'll never forget when one time I went with my family, and they said that, and they're like, "Oh, wait, he's playing. He doesn't look like that." Like, sir, we have to. They stopped me and they brought me back. But it's funny because when you leave the ship, every time you leave the ship, you have to scan your card. They see your picture. Every time you come back on the ship, every time you're at the bar, and so. You can see, like, when when people are actually paying attention, and I'll watch them when they scan it, and they'll see it, they'll go, and they'll look at you, and I'll be like, "Have a good one," and they're laughing, and like, I made their hour, that makes me feel good.
That's nice.
You're not going to be able to do the same thing with a robot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They're not going to get it. They're going to be like, "Yes, this is you."
Yeah, there was like little things like the bartender on my last Carnival cruise fucking did all these cool things with like fireballs, and then like would have like these cool, funny like brain teasers or whatever. But they were like, and some were like dirty jokes or whatever. Dude, it was a way to like kill time when you're in between doing shit. That's what makes cruises fun.
Speaking of dirty jokes.
Uh-oh. Drum roll, please.
Hold on. I'm sorry, before they cut you off there.
Is this gonna be a new segment for the show? Dirty joke time.
I was trying to pour Jose a drink, and I just I poured the end of one can, and his face. I poured like 3 drops, and he's like, "You just poured 3 drops into my cup, and that's all we have left." Did you see the other can? Did you know about it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah.
Considering he's the one who brought
Still knew about it.
No, but I thought it was like, oh shit, they poured out both cans.
Well, Dave did a good job. He didn't, miss the glass like some people.
So, so this one was told to me by my friend Alex he's up in Connecticut.
But you're Alex.
There's more than one of us.
Ah!
Dun, dun, dun.
He's not a Highlander.
What do a gynecologist and a pizza delivery boy have in common?
They can both give you extra sausage.
Close.
Damn
it. Both of them get to smell it, but neither of them gets to taste it.
You get it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you got it. It's a dirty joke hour. Dirty joke hour at.
I think that'll be a new segment.
Yes.
One episode. Somebody has to tell a dirty joke.
I like that idea.
I like it.
Okay.
We're just not gonna let Tony do it because he's gonna do a lame dirty joke.
It's gonna be a dad dirty joke.
Yeah. And that brings us to our 4th beer of the night.
4th beer tonight is The Green Monster by Wakefield.
Which one?
Brewing.
Dramatic pause.
Jake
J. Wakefield.
Jake?
or Jerome?
J. Wakefield.
Jake Wakefield.
Jerome Wakefield. That would be a nice name for a kid.
Jelly Bean Wakefield.
Sounds like he's a blues guitar player. Oh, Jelly Bean Wakefield.
I'm so happy for beer.
So this Northern style Indian Pale Ale, it features a very upfront what I believe to be, correct me if I'm wrong, Galaxy hops.
No clue.
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay, never mind. Do not know.
It tastes like Galaxy hops.
Yeah, it has that like danky Galaxy.
Yeah, that kind of sweetie.
Yeah, I could see Galaxy for sure.
Luckily, my wife got me this one by going to the Save the Whales event.
No, Can You Dig It?
Oh, can you
Can
dig it?
you dig it?
Can You Dig It? Their first time ever canning beer.
Right. Oh, because Free the Whales was the following morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
Save the Whale. Wait, Free the Whales was the following Sunday, and that was a hell of an event, man. We walked up in there, and to start, Chris, shout out to Chris Marino. It was his birthday last week. Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Be dig.
So to celebrate, he shut down the brewery. It was a private event. All you can drink, all you can eat. They had tons of beer on tap, and apart from that, it was the most ridiculous bottle share you've ever seen in your life. To start, in little buckets with ice around the brewery were cans of Hetty Topper, were cans of Julius, were bottles of Pliny the Elder.
Jesus
This was
Christ.
just the opening salvo, and it just got fucking zanier after that, man. I mean, what could I fucking say? All kinds of fucking Palette 6 was fucking there. Mocha Wednesday, Gray Monday, bro, all kinds of shit. And apart from what he actually brought to provide for the event, there were tons of other bottles that people brought themselves. Bro, there was tons of Trillium, double dry hop Congress Street just being passed around like nothing. 4 Point, Galaxy dry hop 4 Point, double dry hop 4 Point. It was obscene. The amount of delicious beer was obscene. Abraxas, Sump. I mean, it was nuts. Like beers that people struggle to find were just readily available. And there was a 3-liter bottle of, I believe, Supplication by Russian River. Their barrel aged out. A 3-liter bottle, man.
That's insane.
It was
That's a great
huge.
beer.
It was a fucking show. It's a fucking shit show.
I would have kept the bottle after.
I'm sure somebody did.
I've got a tear in my eye for not going to this shit. Oh.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. It was bananas. Definitely fucking party of the year.
So the bottle,
so far,
the Can You Dig It release, bottle day.
that was nuts. I was in line that day from
5 o'clock in the morning?
5:30 in the morning is when I fucking got there, bro.
Jeez.
The earliest guy got there at 4:45.
Yeah, I saw that. Ugh.
Wow. Wait, there was somebody. Wow. At 4:45.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous bottle share too. The line for that was an amazing bottle share. Awesome time.
Yeah, this
Some
can. I
fucking
believe
nuts beers.
they canned it themselves, right?
Yeah.
At their,
Yeah,
at their brewery.
It's the first batch.
This is the first time Wakefield releases beers in cans. It was the Green Monster and
Can You Kick It? Or Let's Kick It.
Let's
Yeah,
kick
sorry.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the can itself, if you look at it, it has like he did his own label. Like
Right. He
Like,
does.
it's a
He does unique labels for every beer that
it's
he
a pretty
releases.
cool. Well, the label itself, it's pretty cool because it's
Green
referring
Monster.
to the Green Monster in Fenway Park.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's a northeastern style. So it's like a Boston style beer, like
right.
Boston style pale ale. Where
Boston.
Bastin.
which they make very good pale ales, like which we tried some today, like Trillium.
Yeah. This is definitely danker. This is
Yeah, it's definitely danker than the Trillium,
for sure.
but the Trillium obviously was balanced.
Yeah, we need
Like,
Ted if we're gonna have a Boston beer.
Well, if you sometimes people lose the khakis in the khakis. Happens all the time.
Yeah, I left my khakis in my khakis.
So I mean,
Bukkake.
what makes a northeastern beer different than
So what they
a
do?
midwestern one?
So this particular substyle, the Northeastern Indian Pale Ale or IPA, subset of the American IPA, right? The American IPA is already much more hop forward than its English cousin, and it uses these New World hops that are all full of all different kinds of flavors. I mean, it's fucking amazing. They use a technique. First of all, one of the main differences is the yeast. They use a different yeast, and their beers are unfiltered, so they're generally cloudy. On top of
Okay.
that, they use a technique that's known as hop bursting. So this is a step removed from dry hopping. Dry hopping is after the fact, right? Like after the boil is done, you throw hops into your secondary fermentation,
Right.
And just let that sit there, and it adds aromatics. Well, you can extract a lot more aromatics if you just throw a shit ton of hops at the very, very end of your boil.
Right at the flame out.
So we're talking like last 10 minutes of the boil, ounces of hops added.
Right, because what happens is that if you do it very at the beginning, you don't have you get rid of those aromatics because they boil off.
Right, and you
Get
extract
the bitterness.
more. You extract more of the bittering acids. So by keeping the hop additions to
I
later
see.
in the boil, you're gonna just extract a lot more aromatics, which is why these beers don't have as long of a shelf life. These northeastern pale, these New England style IPAs.
Yeah, you want to drink them fresh right away.
In my opinion, under a month is definitely how you want to drink them. The fresher, the better.
The fresher are better, which is awesome, but it makes trading a lot more trickier because...
Right, definitely check your dates, guys. If you're going to be trading for pale ales or IPAs, you're going to want to ask when they were bottled or canned.
Which,
These were definitely canned just like a couple weeks ago. Not even, like maybe 10 days ago, I'd say.
yeah, they don't really have... Well, I know he's going to probably improve on the canning, like putting the canning date on it.
Well, so what they actually did, it might be on the cover. Yeah. So these were canned on 6/30, so June 30th.
Oh, he has it on the cover, I see.
Right. So yeah, on the can cover. Some people do that.
9 days
And I
ago?
think this is actually because so about 10 days ago, right? Yeah. This is because another brewery that did this that has the date on the actual can cover, not on the can itself, was Civil Society, which we didn't get a chance to review their recently released IPAs, but they were phenomenal. And they both used the same.
We had the pulp, though.
Yeah, we
Did we review?
Yeah, we
reviewed
did
pulp.
pulp.
Yeah.
I think we just
did
drank
pulp.
it before. I don't think we reviewed it.
No, we did one of them. We either did pulp or juice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was juice. It was juice.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
it was from a crowler. It was from a
Yes.
crowler.
Yeah, I brought it.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
That's
yeah,
right. That's
sorry.
right. But we didn't get a chance to review Pulp or Fresh, which were released in 4-pack, 16-ounce cans. But Civil Society and Wakefield both used, or they contracted the same like remote canning company. They
Right.
show up with the equipment, and you can your beer right there on the spot.
Okay, so they take it out of their fermenter.
Right. So they don't
Directly
actually
in.
own canning equipment. They just sort of contracted these people to come so that they could use their equipment to can the beer.
They actually did it outdoors.
Yeah, they did it outdoors. I was
Ooh.
kind of
Ooh,
yeah, I was
wow.
surprised.
Yeah,
I was
that's-
surprised.
Because I know Cigarette City has it indoors. They're
Right. Even Concrete Beach, they have their canning line indoors, and they Concrete Beach, another local brewery here in Miami, they do a lot of canning for their sister breweries like Coney Island and stuff like that.
No, it came out pretty nice.
And there was 3 bottles that day, so I was
Yes.
fortunate to get one.
Which one did you get?
And I got there at 5 p.m. Sorry, Mr.
You got brunch
5 in
on-
the morning.
you
I
got
got
brunch?
I got brunch on this.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sony
I heard
was-
that one was there.
Sony got
Amazing.
brunch on this at noon.
Yeah, I heard brunch on this was there for a while.
Yeah, they had more of that. So.
And it
Which amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's like-
delicious. It's a coffee bomb.
You said you got there at 5 p.m. and you still got brunch on this.
Yeah.
Like that just blows my
Yep. Yeah, they didn't have many. They had like 10.
10, but still
Yeah.
because I remember when last time we
But
went.
I was shocked. I walked
Yeah.
in. I was like,
Last time we
"Is
went
that for sale?"
Last time we went at 7 a.m. and they practically like sold out right when we got there.
Yeah, me and Jose were the last ones to get those bottle releases.
My favorite of the 3 bottles that were released though was "Everybody Dance Now," which is obviously named after that song, but the label is an homage to the dancing lady on the Intercontinental Building in downtown. I don't know if a lot of people got that, but that beer is fucking amazing. Coffee, cassia bark, in bourbon barrels. It's like a coffee desperado almost without the chilies. It's awesome.
Yeah, you sold me.
Awesome. Love it. And Big Papa was phenomenal too. Coconut, vanilla, and coffee.
Yeah, the brunch on this was the maple
maple bourbon.
The barrels that they used for the maple syrup. So it was maple bourbon barrel,
Right.
then
Kopi Luwak.
Kopi Luwak.
Yeah, that one was a coffee bomb. The coffee flavor is just a phenomenal on that beer.
So the topic I brought this week, talk about Brexit. I'm not sure if I'm sure you guys are aware of it.
Yes.
Right. Britain, England leaving, United Kingdom leaving the European Union. And
The UK or
yeah, the UK.
the UK? Okay.
Yeah, so Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, England.
Because I know Scotland was trying to say no.
Right, they wanted to leave the UK but stay
Last
in
year.
the EU.
Right.
Well, yeah, last year they held a referendum, and there are some, pretty much they're fucked. And the one thing about British politics and British leadership in general, ironically, was it last week? No, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, about a week
2
and a half
weeks.
ago,
Yeah.
when they had the referendum to leave or stay. It was the same time that England got knocked out of the Euro 16 tournament.
By Russia, right?
No, Russia didn't make it that far. It was
Portugal?
Portugal. No, Iceland.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yes.
right. It was Iceland.
There we go.
With their awesome chant that they do.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And some funny things because, it started off, by a right-wing, one of the right-wing parties
UKIP.
that said they were afraid. I mean, because the way that the European Union is set up is because there's so many countries in Europe that before this they had to, have border control and this and that. They opened the borders similar to United States, where each state you can drive, anywhere in the state. You don't have to stop when you get to Georgia and stop when you get to South Carolina, North Carolina. You just freely go where you want.
Free movement of people and capital.
Exactly.
Yes.
And this extreme right-wing party in England, we get extremely, even more so vocal, scared people into, essentially voting to leave. Being able, they think that they thought they could control their own future, their own, they thought that there were so many, rules placed on them for trade and for travel and whatnot, saying that other countries could have control over their rules. And people voted for it not even knowing, weren't even sure. I think they said the highest Google search term in England after the vote was "What is the EU?" which is really funny. And there are a lot of funny tweets that came out. So these are some of the funniest tweets, as according to Paste Magazine.
All right.
Watching England leave the EU is like watching your midlife crisis dad divorce your mom and marry Ann Coulter.
Wow.
At least Americans will never vote for some weird nativist nightmare in defiance of both major party establishments. Now, the funny thing, the funny thing is that after the people that wanted the two parties that wanted to leave, that wanted to leave the European Union, after they won their referendum, they both stepped down from their parties.
Nobody wants to handle this mess, man.
Yeah, they kind of and now
Everybody's like, okay, peace, bye, see you later.
follow us, we need to leave, and then there's like, okay, time for
Cameron
them to step
resigned
up.
too in the wake of it.
And also, it's a thing. If you lose, you resign. Just like the England coach of their soccer team, when he lost to Iceland, we're not winning, I quit. And it's the same. That's their idea, that we need to leave if we're not winning.
Yeah,
Now-
I mean, I wonder how can you just do that? How can you just leave?
Just say it. Just say it, Jose, JJ. Just say what bottle you want instead of.
I'm good. I got
Okay.
it. Thank you.
How can you just leave work? Oh yeah, shit's going wrong. Okay, see you guys. Bye, peace later.
Well, yeah, I mean, who wants to be the captain of a sinking ship?
Yeah, but it's it's your responsibility. You drove the ship there.
Well, okay. So here's
Well,
another
yeah,
one.
in the case of Boris, what's his face, and the UKIP guy, yeah, they totally kind of fucked the people over by selling them a dream and then saying, well, I don't know so much about that.
Yeah. Here's another funny tweet. It's the
Click Trump.
remix to Ignition for the big vote
No
in
politics.
Britain Mama rolling out the EU and Dave Cameron is quitting.
Nice.
On the bright side, we can finally witness V for Vendetta as it happens.
Ho, ho, ho.
The lizard people will reveal themselves.
Hey, remember how David Cameron got a scare with the Scottish referendum, then decided to allow an even bigger one? It makes sense that old people voted most heavily for Brexit, as they'll be the first to die when society collapses.
Or before.
Hey.
The awkward moment when you tank your economy and guarantee the secession of Scotland, all because you hate brown people. And that was one of the big fears. It's that Syrian refugees.
Right.
Well, there has
was-
been just an influx of people from, how do we say it, east of Greece into the European Union as a whole. And I feel that, I know that we steer clear of politics, but there is clearly a shift towards the right and a wave of xenophobia that's gripping the industrialized world.
Yeah.
And I really think that all of this can be framed in the context of a resistance to globalization.
It's a small but vocal minority.
I don't even know. Yeah, sure. In the strictest sense,
Because
in the strictest sense, it's a minority. But I do think that it's a common fear, and it's shared by a good segment of the population.
I give it a couple of weeks before Britain is texting the EU at 1 a.m. to come chill.
For sure.
What's their version of Netflix?
I don't know.
Netflix.uk.
Netflix.uk and chill.
My 401k will probably be 2 Fandango vouchers in the morning.
That's a good one.
So who gets American statehood first, Puerto Rico or England?
Damn.
Oh, man.
As an American, this Brexit shit is sad. You never want to see your dad struggle with money problems.
Take that.
What if
Talking
we
about money problems. Have you seen the stock market right after?
Yeah.
Well, that was really interesting because the night of the stock market actually closed that day at a really high point, and then the following morning when it's like, oh, by the way, yeah, they're out of here.
20%. Next day, 20%.
No, but it bounced back.
Of course, but
It bounced back actually a little quicker than I expected. I thought that we were going to be languishing for a while in this whole Brexit drama.
What if we let Brexit supporters and Trump supporters all start their own country together on an island called New Florida?
As long as it ain't my Florida.
I was gonna say, like, don't throw my Florida on.
That's funny.
Florida for Floridians.
Now
exactly.
it said God save the pound, #Brexit, and it's an image of the pound I'm doing on the market, and it's the crying Jordan.
Crying Jordan meme. I love it.
That's getting a little overused.
It's just, yeah, it is ubiquitous, but it's just because there's so much disappointment everywhere.
The moment has arrived for the Queen to seize power.
There's some monarchists out there.
On the bright side for David Cameron, now he will be remembered for something other than the pig.
The piggy fucked or kissed?
Well,
Yeah, the pig he mouth fucked. I was going to say, I don't know if you guys knew about that.
No,
Yeah.
wait.
Okay, so David Cameron was the prime minister, so their equivalent of the president.
Right.
Well, the government side, not the ceremonial side of the president. And when he was, not his fraternity, was it his fraternity?
I don't really know the details that well.
It's well, something along in during college. I think it was at Oxford or Cambridge. Their version of a fraternity. People remember him fucking a pig in its mouth, a dead pig, and then they think they cooked it or something like that.
You see, this is when Would You Rathers goes wrong.
It's
I'd rather fuck a pig in its mouth, man.
It's when you take it literal.
Yikes.
It's
Wow.
official. No one in the UK is allowed to make fun of America again,
Pig in a blanket.
unless Trump wins. So it just keeps going, on and on and on. And it's funny because the real funny thing is that they were afraid. They sold them on we'll be able to make our rules now when we trade. We won't be sanctioned with EU rules and this and that.
So what rules have they made?
Well,
but-
they have
but
2
here's the thing.
years to figure out
They
how
have-
they're going to leave.
If you trade,
Because nobody's ever done this before.
yeah, if you trade with another country, you have to accept their policies.
Right. And
It's
the
like-
EU is going to was their biggest market and will probably continue to be their biggest market. So
But
now,
you still have to follow their rules. It's
Exactly.
like, the one of the things, their commercials was that they said there was something like,
the pillow one.
the pillow one.
With like 130 regulations on this pillow.
but technically there weren't 130 regulations on selling a pillow in the EU. It was like, what if you had a pillow, for your hands, but they're trying to make it allude to that it's, all this for your head. But if you want to sell it in France, get it into France's borders, you still have to follow EU's rules for that.
Right. It's not like you're going to get around that.
Yeah, they
Unless
sort of-
Well, people didn't know that though. That's the thing.
Right.
unless you
Right.
fold down the EU itself.
that it's such a huge trading block. They have so much leverage.
Which is
That was
not-
the whole point. That was the whole point behind it. So to leave it is sort
And
of
also,
to
it
shoot
would also
yourself in the
it would
foot.
mean that you can't really go to war with someone you trade with
And
that
to
you
be-
depend on.
And to be exactly, yeah,
Because
that
there was
the
a war
entire idea.
there was a war
Right.
every 40 to 50 years.
Right. That
For
was
how many hundreds of years?
And on top of that, they would drag the rest of the world into these wars.
Well, the last couple.
the worst ones.
But
Yeah.
it's like it was every 40 to 50 years. It was like once a generation. France and Germany went to war.
Yeah, and then that's why they started the European the French and German the European coal and steel community. It was the predecessor of the EU, and it was all designed around the mining of coal and steel from the border region between France and Germany, which is very rich in those minerals. And by doing that, they prevented any future military conflicts by creating economic
I
dependence.
thought I had some other safety.
Which is sort of the entire model behind the global economy that the United States has spearheaded during what is often referred to as the Pax Americana.
And it's funny because there's so many jokes and memes that went out, so many other ones, kind of like pictures. We just had 4th of July, so it was pictures of George Washington saying Brexit. We've been there already, things like that. To well, you've left the EU. Why don't you guys go ahead and leave Northern Ireland to the Irish? Yeah.
Rough one.
Yeah, you guys got kicked out of Euro 16. You guys got you guys left Euro twice in 1 week. It's they're getting it from every which way.
It was a bad deal for them to leave, man. I mean, they had the best of both worlds. We'll keep our currency.
And
I don't think anybody expected
your
it,
game.
actually, because I think they had media blockage of what was going on. UK law doesn't allow you to cover what the referendum is.
I saw an interview with a young woman after the fact.
Yeah, you're talking. I know what you're talking about with the and she was like, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. She's like, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I just, if I could do it again, I wouldn't vote for it.
You're talking about John Oliver. It's like,
Yes.
well, of course, because there's a
Yes.
second vote coming. And it's like, of course there isn't, you dumb bitch. You're
That was
stuck
the
with it
fucking
now.
vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't think people understood it. I think people took it lightly.
Because because last year they had a referendum in Scotland. Did you guys want to leave the UK? And it was, I think, like around 60-40 that they were going to stay. And the turnout, there were some counties there in Scotland that closed their polls at 1:00 in the afternoon because everyone showed up to vote. It wasn't like, nah, we're not gonna. Only the older people are gonna vote. No, it was everybody was showing up. And now I think they're having I think they're trying to pull up another referendum. Do they want to leave from England and try and rejoin the EU? And they're talking about doing that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because
Yeah. So let me ask
This is
you
a fascinating time. Fascinating.
yeah,
time.
it's pretty strange. And
They're the
fascinating.
first. They're the
Like,
first
they-
ones to break away from the union. What is it going to look like? What is it going to take? They got 2 years to figure it out.
Yeah, what are you going to do now?
Are they going to
Okay.
try and go back?
Are they going to try and go back? How long until they try to go back?
Yeah, it's like leaving your parents' house. Okay, now you're out of the house.
But I can still get my groceries from your fridge, right?
No.
Laundry's expensive. I can come by every now and then, right? Drop a load off. So let me ask you guys, what burns your bacon? Anybody?
Dependency on the top 4 objects in your life.
Such as?
Your wallet, your keys, your cell phone.
I feel that was a passive aggressive jab at something.
Or someone.
I wonder.
I have lost, and during this week that we didn't record, I lost my phone, and my car got on a recall.
Your car.
Yeah, my car got on a recall because the transmission control unit wouldn't shift correctly on an automatic car, which ended up breaking the gears on an automatic car.
That's pretty bad.
Well, if it's on a recall, then they replace
Yeah,
it all.
they did it for free,
Yeah,
but
they do it for
still,
free,
I
it's pending.
had to get to work. I had no phone. I have no car.
But you had the keys to your car, though.
I had the keys to my car.
That you did.
That's more than some people can say.
Yeah.
So losing the keys to your house would suck. But so I ended up having to go with a tablet and order an Uber to get to work.
Tablet.
Because I had no way to get to an Uber
Yeah.
because I didn't have a phone. I
Yeah.
couldn't drive to the T-Mobile because I didn't have a car. So I got stuck in a position. So today, coincidentally, the same situation happened again. My wife ended up having her cell phone die, and her keys got locked in the car. So our good Beer Bros and BS brothers drove us to the mall.
Field trip.
Field trip to.
I feel like we bonded. in that
Yeah, we
drive.
did bond. We
No
did
pants.
Well, no. On the way back, you weren't with us.
Oh. I must have missed something.
My bad.
Yeah,
I
we
must have missed
stopped
that.
at a couple bars on the way back, and
That's why I took
It was
off
a good
real
time.
quick. Like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
Hurry up, let's bond without Jose.
fuck.
He's like, fuck you. Big slap.
So yeah, you could just tell by the expression on my face when I got a phone call from a mysterious number. It was my wife saying, "I locked my keys inside the door, and my phone is dead."
The best part is she.
But we have so much dependency on these 4 objects. It like rules.
She was on the
they
first
like-
floor. We went to every single
Floor
fucking
but the
floor.
first one.
we looked at the first one like, no, we don't see her. And then we went up to the second. No, we went all the way to the 5th floor, and we worked our way back down to the first floor where we found her.
It didn't dawn on me to the second floor. Like, we didn't really look for the car on the first floor.
I wasn't looking for a car the whole time. I'm
No,
gonna be honest
by
about it.
the time we got to the 3rd floor, Dave was like, "Wait, what car are we even searching for?"
Love it.
I was just looking for your wife.
Yeah, me too. And the car.
Oh, yeah. What about you guys? What burns your bacon?
All right. Very much. Well, not. I guess it's not so minor because it burns my bacon. But the other day I went to the local burrito shop and
Taco Bell?
no, like where.
You mean Taco Bell?
Everyone's neighborhood burritos.
You mean Taco Bell?
No. I mean like Chipotle or Moe's or Lime, any of those.
So a lower tier Taco, higher tier
Yeah, I
Taco
was
Bell.
gonna say lower tier. There's nothing lower tier than Taco Bell.
Yes, there is. Oh, there most definitely is.
Crystals.
Yeah.
Crystal's Tacos.
No, it's not tacos, but it's lower than Taco Bell.
Oh no, I'm saying in Mexico.
Are they even open anymore?
Crystals, hell yeah, man, in Tampa. Well,
Oh.
That's a Crystal
I don't
burger,
know.
right?
yeah,
it's
they're
like
like
White
the
Castle.
They're the White Castle of the
Okay.
South.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so
That's all you need to know about.
yeah, like wait, no, I think I
Wait,
had
quick
it back
question.
in the day.
Do they do the crave case?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's like 32 fucking mini burgers.
Oh Jesus!
Have you guys ever heard of Royal Burger?
Yeah.
Or Royal Castle
Royal
on
Castle.
79th.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It's like a fucking rip off of fucking
Yes.
White Castle.
Yes.
They used to be at the youth fair all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Instead of White Castle, it was Royal Castle at like one of the food vendors. But anyway, when you go to the burrito, I don't know what you call it, like customize your burrito.
Add your ingredients.
Add your ingredients, burrito places.
Choose your destiny.
When you tell the person building your burrito,
The burrito architect, if you will.
yeah, the burrito
burritoista.
architect. Yeah, exactly. So you want extra cheese or heavy cheese, and they proceed to pinch a little thing of whatever cheese that they have for the respected establishment and just sprinkle it on like a normal portion of what they normally do. And then you're like, well, a little bit more, please. A little bit extra cheese. And the same little, maybe even a half of pinch of cheese. And then a little, maybe like 3 shreds go in there. And then you proceed to get upset and like, no, I want a lot of cheese. And they give you the look of death. Of like, look at this fucking asshole. Even though the cheese is free and you can have as much cheese as you want. All right. And then they'll proceed to grab bigger portions of cheese and put on the thing. What
you
part
ordering
of extra or heavy cheese did you not understand?
Well, they might not understand English to begin with, so maybe all of it.
¿Qué?
Más
Yeah.
queso.
Yeah.
No, that was not the problem with any of these places. That there's places when
You should have just looked them in the eyes like, I can do this all day.
no, but I mean, there's plenty
Maybe
of times when I
Do you
go.
think maybe you didn't want a burrito and you wanted a quesadilla?
No, man.
With all that fucking cheese.
With all that cheese. That sure sounds like that's what you wanted.
No, man. If you don't fucking
It should be a burrito-shaped quesadilla.
Yeah.
No, what he wanted
This
was
is why I need Tony here. He knows exactly what the
he
fuck I'm
wanted
talking
was
about.
the cheesy enchilada from Taco Bell.
No, like you've never had
Nah,
it
I
like
get my
where
burritos
there's
with extra cheese.
yeah, like there's never a point.
And
Oh
pressed
my God.
and cut like a quesadilla.
Oh my God! The other day, this fucking guy. I place my orders online all the time at Chipotle, and I used to love going because the girl that would do the online orders was incredibly adorable. But apart from that, I just love the convenience of doing it, and also you figure, well, I'm fucking typing it out for these people; they can just read it. This fucking asshole. I always get half chicken, half carnitas, both beans, light rice, extra cheese, extra sour cream. Fucking guy only gave me pinto beans. That son of a bitch. Fucking said both beans.
Oh, because
And it's written.
he saw how adorable you thought the other girl was.
No,
He's like, that's my
she's,
chick.
She's gone. She's gone, actually, and it makes
Yeah,
me
this
sad.
is
I
the
might
new
not go to
guy.
Chipotle so much anymore.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Chipotle.
I used to get notes on my fucking
Yeah.
burritos, man. They'd be like, "Oh, the names for your orders are cute, lol." Because like I would put stupid shit like, it ain't easy, beans cheesy. Because I get both beans and extra cheese, and it ain't easy sometimes.
Did this get you anything?
They got me a little writing on my burritos. They'd be like, "LOL, that was cute." It's like,
Hashtag-
On your burrito or on the burrito?
like on the burrito foil,
On
No,
the-
on the
on the
tortilla.
burrito.
He was like,
Fucking
he totally went over his head on that one. You got him on that one.
He was referring to your dick.
Oh, on my dick? Nah, I didn't get a little dick message. I didn't get that.
Does it have to be a little dick message?
Then she would be
Well,
able,
maybe
A little message on my dick.
then she would be able to eat her words.
Oh, damn! Hoes dropping them bombs.
He was like, I was kept silent through the 20-minute fucking Miami Heat segment where I didn't get to say
He's like-
shit.
He's unleashing it now.
He was like, extra sour cream, fucking cheese on the taco.
Anything else for what burns your bacon? No.
I guess we
Yeah.
comboed ours. We
Our
comboed
topics and our
Combo.
bacon.
Wait, they comboed like a food order.
You're reaching there.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. Thanks for listening to Beer Bros and BS. I'm Dave. All right, so let me ask you guys, what was your favorite beer of the night?
Damn,
That's
they're
it.
all good.
I really like the Green Monster, man.
I'm gonna go with Knee Deep Brewing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Knights Who Say, me. Deep Brewing.
Yeah,
Jose?
same here. I cannot like even fathom how that thing is 10%.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like I
nice.
love those type of beers that it's like, oh well, we'd like to hide our like it's easy drinking, but
Yeah. No, that's why I grabbed for it again. I was
but
like,
close second is the Stone. I love like aged dark plum.
Yeah, me
like,
too. Okay, well, as always, remember you can find us on Facebook.com/BeerBrosBS. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at BeerBrosBS. Also on Untapped. Remember, email us any ideas, questions, jokes, insults,
dirty jokes.
propositions to us.
Inspirational messages.
BeerBrosBS@gmail.com. As always, you can find everything on our website, BeerBrosBS.com. Remember, subscribe to the playlist on SoundCloud, iTunes, and...
Podcast Addict.
All right, I'm Dave the Big Librarian.
JJ the Mel Chef.
Alex the King of Alapata.
Jose the Bad Honey Badger. Crickets.
All right, good night, guys. Cheers.
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 I thought I was going to break that one.
Yeah.